lecture by Srila Prabhupada. So please do join us. We request devotees to please increase the volume so that you can hear the recording, and also to try to take one takeaway from the class, at least one that we can share and discuss and learn from each other's realizations at the end of the class. Without further delay, we will start the class. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Avanachari Jamuna Tira Avanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Avanachari
सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, गंगा माई की जय, जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द Assembly, all glories to the Assembly, all glories to the Assembly. Thank you very much.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Canto 1, Chapter 3, text number 19. Panchadasham Vamanakam Kritva Agat Advaram Bole Padatrayam Yachamanak Pratyaditsus Tripishtapam Panchadasham Vamanakam Kritvagadadvaram Bale Paratrayam Yachamanak Pratyaditsus Tripishtapam Panchadasham Vamanakam Kritvagadadvaram Bale Paratrayam Yachamanak Pratyaditsus Tripishtapam Panchadasham Vamanakam Kritvagadadvaram Bale Paratrayam Yachamanak Pratyaditsus Tripishtapam
Next.
Panchadasham Vamanakam Kritvagadadvaram Bale Paratrayam Yachamanak Pratyaditsus Tripishtapam
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 Lady.
Panchadasham Vamanakam Paratrayam Yachamanak Pratyaditsus Tripishtapam.
Ladies.
Panchadasham Vamanakam Kritvagadadvaram Bale Stripistapam
Panchadasham Vamanakam
Panchadasham Vamanakam
Vipagadaparam Bale
Vivagadaparam Bale
Paratrayam Yachamanam
Padatrayam Yajamana Pradyadishu Stripistapam
Panchadasam Bhavnakam
Panchadasham Vamanakam
Bhagad Advaram Bale
Vivagadaparam Bale
Paratrayam Yachamanaha
Padatrayam Yajamana
Radisu Stripistapam
Pratyadishu Stripistapam.
That's all. What meaning?
Panchadasham, the 15th in the line. Vamanakam, the dwarf Brahmana. Kritava, by assumption of. Agat, went. Advaram, arena of sacrifice. Bale, of King Boli. Paratrayam, 3 steps only. Yachamanaha, begging. Pratyaditsu, willing at heart to return. Tripishtapam, the kingdom of the 3 planetary systems. Translation. In the 15th incarnation, the Lord assumed the form of a dwarf Brahman, Vamana, and visited the arena of sacrifice arranged by Maharaj Boli. Although at heart he was willing to regain the kingdom of the 3 planetary systems, he simply asked for a donation of 3 steps of land.
So, Vamandev, Chalayasi Vikramane Valimad Bhuta Vamana Padanakha Nira Janita Jana Pavana Kesavadhita Vamana Sharira Jaya Jagadisha Hari. So, Bali Maharaj was the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. They are in the demons family. But in the demons family also, there is sometimes Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj. Prahlad and Bali, they are our acharyas. There are 12 bona fide acharyas. Bali Vaiyasaki Bayam. The acharyas are mentioned, Dadas Mahajan, Swayambhu. Swayambhu means Lord Brahma. Don't mix up. Swayambhu Narada. Narada is also one of the authorities. They have been accepted at authority for understanding religious principles. Religious principle is not to be understood from a rascal. No. That anyone comes and says religious topics. No. We have to receive it from the authority. So Bali Maharaj is one of the authorities. Out of the 12 authorities, first is Lord Brahma, the next Narada, the next Lord Shiva, then next the Kumaras, then Kapil Dev, then Manu, Vaivasvata Manu, then Prahlad Maharaj, then Janak Maharaj, then Bhishma Dev, then Bali Maharaj, then Sukadev Goswami, and then Jamaraj. It is stated in this Shastra that Mahajana Jina Gata Panthya You cannot understand transcendental subject matter simply by dry speculation and argument. You cannot understand. Neither by reading Vedic literature. The conclusion is that you have to follow those who are authorities. Mahajana jina dharmasya tattang nihitam guhaya Mahajana jina gata sapanthya. Guha means the cave, mountain cave, and guha means the heart. So, suppose something is very valuable, is there in the cave of the mountain, and you do not know how to search it out, but if you know somebody who knows it, if you follow him, that he is going there, so I may also follow. So religious principles cannot be manufactured, neither it can be made by speculation. So actually there cannot be many religions. The Rascal theory that there are as many religious systems as I can believe. You believe something, that's all right. I believe something, that's all right. He believes something, that's all right. No, it is not like that. Then everyone will believe like any nonsense thing that becomes religion. No. Religion means dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Religion means the codes, the laws given by God. That is religion. Man cannot manufacture. I have several times explained. Just like law, state law. The state law can be given by the government. You cannot manufacture law. Nobody will care for your law. The state law is that you must keep right your car. As soon as there is red light, you must stop. If you violate, you will be punished. Although it is a very simple thing. Similarly, religion means the law of God. You cannot violate it. If you violate, they will be punished. If you think that this religious system is very stiff, let me manufacture my own religion. So, that kind of religion is not accepted by the Vedic culture. And when actually the real religion is violated, jada jada hi dharmasya glani bhavati. Glani means violation. Tadatmanam sijamaham. At that time, the Supreme Lord or his representative comes to establish real religion. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Dharma sanghasthapanarthaya samvamami juge juge. Dharma sanghastha, real religious principle. Real religious principle means to abide by the laws of the Supreme Lord, God. But they do not believe in God. Everyone is God. I am God, you are God, he is God, everyone is God. So whatever law you give yourself, that becomes a religion. This is going on. So God is not so cheap that you become God, I become God, he becomes God. The Shastra says, Krishnastu Bhagavan Sayam. Ishara Parama Krishna. God is Krishna, the Supreme Lord, the original God. Ishara Parama Krishna. Satchidananda. God, Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, Matta Parataram Nanyat. There is no more superior authority than me. The Vedanta Sutra also says, Janmadasya jataha, the original source of everything. Who is that original source? God. Who is that God? Krishna. Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartat. I am the origin of everything. Iti matya bhajante maam buddha bhava samannita. Those who are Buddha, Buddha means one who knows, one who is in the knowledge. Bhava samannita. Bhava samannita, knowing everything in ecstasy. Oh, here is God. Buddha bhava samannita. Aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate iti matya bhajante mang buddha bhava samannita. So everything is there. God is there. His name is there. His address is there. His law is there. Everything is there, but the rascals will not accept it. That is the position. Therefore, we have to follow the Mahajan. So Bali Maharaj is one of the Mahajan. How he became Mahajan? Because he is surrendering fully unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This Vaman, incarnation of Kesavadhita Vamana Sarira. So, the incident is that Bali Maharaj was very powerful and he conquered the whole universe. The demigods, all. So, Vishnu is always in favor of the demigods because demigods, they are also devotees. The difference between Shura and Asura. Asura means envious of the demigods. That is called Asura. Sura the Bisha. The another name of the Asura, those who are envious of devotees. That is only business. There are two classes of men are always there. Sometimes one class is more in number and other class is more in number. That is, but there are two classes. There are two classes of men, living entities. Daiva Asuraivacha. One is called Daiva, demigods, and the other is called Asura. Who is Daiva? Vishnu Bhakta Bhavet Daiva. Those who are devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, they are called demigods or Vaishnava. All Vaishnavas are demigods. And those who are not, Asuras or Viparjaya, anyone opposite number against Vishnu, they are all called Asuras. So, sometimes in Asura's family also, there are Vaishnavas, by the grace of Narad. Narad makes, that Prahlad Maharaj became a great devotee by the grace of Narada. Although he was born of a father, atheist father, Hiranyakashipu. So Narada's business is to travel all over the universe and make Vaishnava. So this Bali Maharaj, he conquered all over the universe, and the demigods were defeated. So Vamandev, he also one of the considered demigods, Upendra. So he went to Bali Maharaj by a trick, because Bali Maharaj, Krishna knows that Bali Maharaj was the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj and he was a great devotee at heart. He knew that. Ishara sarvabhutanam riddesha arjuna tishtati. Lord is situated in everyone's heart. He knows everyone. So therefore, in order to return back the kingdoms taken from the demigods, he made a trick. He went there. Bali Maharaj was performing a great sacrifice. Bolidhare. So he went there and asked Bali Maharaj, you are performing such a great sacrifice. I am at your door, I am Brahmin. Will you kindly give me some donation? Yes, why not? That is mine. I'll give you. Whatever you want, I'll give you. So immediately his spiritual master, the demon spiritual master, Shukracharya. Shukracharya means, Shukra means seminar. Seminal Acharya. You do not know, in India, there is a class of men, they are called gurus. The professional guru, rather. So Shukracharya, he was very learned scholar, he knew everything. That here Vamandev, his incarnation of Vishnu, he has come to cheat Boli. He will ask something and then he will take everything from Boli. He knew it. So, sometimes cheating also done by the Supreme Lord for the sake of the devotee. So, this is not cheating, just like father sometimes cheats a son. Suppose something is there and two brothers, small children, they are fighting. One has taken, another is crying. So, the one will not deliver to the other. The father says, my dear child, will you kindly give me this? So he gives to the father and he delivers to the other child. You see? So sometimes God has to do such a cheating of affection. That is not cheating actually, but the cheating propensity is there in God, otherwise where we get it? But we use cheating for our personal sense gratification. But if you use that cheating propensity for Krishna's satisfaction, then it is all right. Man nimitti kritam papam punnayeva kalpate. So, the Bali Maharaj was cheated but he being cheated, he became conqueror. So the Shukracharya said to Bali Maharaj, so don't promise to this Brahman anything. He is Lord Vishnu. He has come to cheat you. The Bali Maharaj became more enlightened. Oh, he is Lord Vishnu. But you have taught me that everything should be given to Vishnu. So if Vishnu has come at my door, why you are asking not to make any promise? So that means Shukracharya were playing duplicity. He taught something and now he is saying another thing. Therefore Bali Maharaj said that I cannot accept, I give up your company from this day. That you are checking me to offer everything to Vishnu. Oh, I do not want such spiritual master. So that means, that is the Shastric injunction, that anyone who is not a Vishnu devotee or Vaishnava, he cannot become Guru. That is the injunction of the Shastra. Satkarma nipuna vipra mantra tantra visharad. A Brahmin, very learned, he knows his duties, Brahminical duties very well, just like Shukracharya. Satkarma nipuna, Brahmin have got 6 kinds of occupation. Patana, Patana, Jajana, Jajana, Dana, Patigra. Brahmin should be very learned. He should teach others also Vedic knowledge, Patana, Patana, Jajana, Jajana. He must be devotee or great worshipper, and he should teach others also how to worship, Jajana, Jajana, Dana, Pratigraha. He will accept charity from others and he will give in charity again to others. These are the 6 occupations of a Brahmin. The Shastra says, Satkarma Nipuna Vipra. A Brahmin well conversed with these duties, of Brahminical duties, and Mantra Tantra Visharada, and expert in studying the mantras, Vedic mantras and Tantra, other Vedic literature. Avaishnava Guru Nasasyat. But if he is Avaishnava, means he does not worship Lord Vishnu but other demigods, then he cannot become Guru. That is not allowed. You cannot become Guru. Satkarma Nipuna Vipra Mantra. So, the Shukracharya, he was against Vishnu. So, Bali Maharaj immediately rejected him. Therefore, he became a Mahajan, exemplary. Because you cannot give up your spiritual master. There is a great sin. Once accepted, the spiritual master takes responsibility for the disciple. And disciple also must be obedient to the spiritual master for life, for good. That is the relationship. So if one rejects spiritual master, he becomes a great sinner, most sinful. So Bali Maharaj rejected his spiritual master. That's a great sin. But he rejected on Shastric ground because he objected for Vishnu worship. Therefore, such spiritual master should be rejected. Should be rejected. Therefore, he became Mahajan, authority. Anyone who is obstruction to worship the Supreme Lord, he should be rejected immediately. That is bhakti. Anukullasya sankalpa pratikullam vivarjan. Anything favorable for advancement of Krishna consciousness should be accepted. Anything unfavorable, that should be rejected. This is Saranagat. Anukullena Krishnanu. We have to worship Krishna. Whatever is favorable. It is not that because the microphone is material, therefore I cannot use it. There are some so-called transcendentalists. Why not? If I speak through the microphone, I can serve better Krishna. Why shall I not accept it? So, anukullena Krishna anusilanam. Anything which is favorable for serving Krishna, we shall accept. After all, everything belongs to Krishna. Ishavassamidam sarvam. Nothing belongs to you. Simply we are thieves. We are using Krishna's property for our own sense gratification. Stena eva sauchyati. We are all thieves. So, just like these Bali Maharajas, he conquered. So actually, nothing belongs to Bali Maharaj, but he thought. So Krishna, to save him from this theft, criminality, he approached him. My dear Bali Maharaj, will you kindly give me 3 feet land? So he, after rejecting his spiritual master, who opposed, he promised, yes, I shall give. So, by 1 feet, the whole lower portion of the universe was covered. The other feet, the upper portion of the universe was covered. Still, the 3rd feet remained So, Bhamandev asked, now, Boli Maharaj, all your position is now covered by my 2 feet. Where is to keep the other feet? Bali Maharaj said, yes, there is place. You just put your foot on my head. So, in this way, Bali Maharaj surrendered everything. Sarvatma sapane. He, personal property and the personal body, everything dedicated to Krishna. He became Mahajan. There are 9 processes of bhakti. Savanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasam, Shakham, Atma Nivedanam. So Bali Maharaj dedicated Atma Nivedan, everything. His property, his personal body, everything. So, in exchange, Lord Baman became his doorkeeper. So Baman said, my dear Bali Maharaj, you are so great a devotee, so in return for your service, I shall remain always your doorkeeper. So by offering everything to Krishna, nobody is loser. You must always remain. They are gainer, the best gainer. Because after all, everything belongs to Krishna. Why should he foolishly say, it is mine, it is mine? Ahagamameti janasya mohoayam. This is called illusion. Nothing belongs to me, but I think that this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. The whole world is going on like ahagamameti. We are Americans, we are Indians, this belongs to me, that belongs to you. We make such, shareholder, but we're shareholder for others' property. Everything belongs to God. Not only this world, there are many millions and millions of planets. Sarva loko maheswaram. Loko means planet. Krishna says, Sarva loko maheswaram. Bhoktaram jagatavasam. Sarva loko. He is the proprietor. But we are dividing. This is American, this is Indian. But how long you will remain American and Indian? Say 50 years, then if you are going to be a dog, then who is saving your country? This is going on. Nothing belongs to us, except everything belongs to Krishna, and we are all offspring of Krishna. Everyone has got the right to father's property, but not to encroach others' property. Tena taktena bhanjita, magridha kasasi dhanam. If people accept this philosophy, then the whole world becomes Vaikuntha. There is no quarrel, there is no, everything becomes happy. Thank you very much.
Such a beautiful lecture by Srila Prabhupada. Amazing points, simple yet powerful. Lots of amazing takeaways from this class. Would like to ask devotees, if you have any takeaways to share, please do unmute yourself and speak. Share your your takeaways. And if you could raise your hand, that way I don't miss anybody whose turn is in place. Yeah, feel free. This is really an amazing lecture by Srila Prabhupada. My takeaway, and I can start off. My takeaway from this class is how people create religion based on what they want to believe, as opposed to following the religion of the Lord that is given to us by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. And how Srila Prabhupada is saying, you create, that's okay. I create, that's okay. They're like, so when people believe in something and they create a new philosophy, it's, and they make it religion. So I was really appreciating that point, that how come, that it's sad, when one believes in something, it's like religion. That's just how it's going to be. That's just the law, and it's really interesting. And Srila Prabhupada said that we just got to follow the religion that's given to us by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita. So that was one of my takeaways, how we have to be careful not to be caught up in so many religions, because we created it. So that was one of my takeaways that really resonated with me. There's more, but I would like to give others the opportunity to speak and share their takeaways. So if anyone would like to speak, or you can put in the chat, and I would be happy to read it for you so that we can all benefit from it. Any thoughts from devotees? Go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, there's quite a bit of takeaway. Even some parts of it were quite humorous. The way Srila Prabhupada described the situation, like cheating. People cheat. Cheating is in Krishna. Otherwise, how do we get cheated? But for good purposes, for serving Krishna, then that's a different situation. Otherwise, we shouldn't be cheating. And he gave an example of sometimes, the father, they have two sons, and one son is taking an item, the other one wants it, and the other one that doesn't have it is crying about it. And so the father comes and says, "Oh, all right, well, the son that has it won't give it to the other son." So the father says to the son that has it, "Give it to me." And the son gives it to the father, and then the father gives it to the other person. So in that sense, the first one that had it had now been cheated and been probably given to the other son. Now, a lot of things that we can learn from this is, well, at the beginning, Srila Prabhupada described Deva and Asura. So all Vaishnavas are demigods. I mean, they're demigods in quality. Asuras are demons. And even though Prahlad was born in a demonic family, by the mercy of Narada, he became the great devotee of the Lord. And then he goes to talk to the line, the Vaishnava line. Bali Maharaj was the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. And then he described what happened as Lord Vamanadev went to Bali Maharaj when he was performing sacrifice and asked for something he wanted to ask, but Sukacharya, knowing that Vamanadev was actually an incarnation of Vishnu and had come to take everything away, warned Bali that Vamanadev was actually an incarnation of Vishnu. And Bali said, "Oh, incarnation of Guru, incarnation of Vishnu. You Guru have taught me to give everything to Vishnu. And now Vishnu has come and you say don't." So, no, this is why he rejected Sukacharya. And so, one, Srila Prabhupada said that we can't become a guru unless you're Vaishnava. Anyone who's not a Vaishnava cannot become a guru. That's one thing. Even from other lectures of Srila Prabhupada earlier, he was talking about, I think it was Madhavacharya, if I remember correctly, that was going to have some brahmanas served by worshiping the deity, but he initiated them into becoming Vaishnavas first, before they even allowed to do the service. So being a Vaishnava means that us being trained to be Vaishnava, a very, 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 very fortunate situation for us. We're not even talking about Brahminical. Brahman qualities will be there. It's all included in a person being trained to be a Vaishnava. So we're very fortunate. It's just we have to take things seriously. And also we need to understand one point that nothing belongs to us. So by offering everything to Krishna, nobody who does that is a loser. A person who does that actually gains everything, because then Krishna will take care of that. Just like Bali Maharaj gave everything to Vamanadev, gave the whole universe that he had conquered to Vamanadev. And then he also purchased Vamanadev. by asking Brahmanadev to put the third step on his head, not where Brahmanadev decided to protect, be at Bali Maharaj's door all the time. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for sharing those takeaways. Yeah, very, very powerful points. Yes, Swarnagoranga, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Mother. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So that's
Accept my praises, August Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. So there are a lot of takeaways and very wonderful lecture as always, Prabhupada. So the one point when I was listening to Prabhupada, he mentioned that whatever is here is the property of Krishna. So he talks about, we have to worship Krishna, and whatever is favorable to Krishna Bhakti, it is actually becomes Bhakti. So whatever comes in front of us, even it's material, but we offer it to Krishna or use it for Krishna's service, then that is actually using a Krishna's property for Krishna. And if you not do that, then we are thieves. And that's what he mentions that. So just like a Bali Maharaj, he conquered everything, but he thinks it's belonged to me. And that's why Krishna has to come as a Vaman there and remind him that it belongs to me. And as he's being a devotee, but because of association with Sukrachari, he kind of forgets that I am a devotee and it belongs to Krishna. I should not fight against Devtas, right, Suras, and not behaving like Asura. I'm a devotee. So Krishna comes and reminds him, and then he surrenders everything to Krishna after that. He gives up on his guru and then surrenders everything to Krishna. Similar to the situation we are in, right? So you kind of forget all the time, but Hari Guru, Vaishnava, and Shastra, they always come and tell us like we belong to Krishna and this property belongs to Krishna. So we should understand our position that we are part and parcel of Krishna, and then always surrender whatever we have. Use that for the Krishna service, and that's how the Krishna gets happy. And that's what the Navada Bhaktis talks about, Atma Nivedan. It's a very wonderful point, the way Prabhupada talks about, because this aspect I never thought of. Bali Maharaj is forgetting about everything and thinking he is the doer. I never thought about this one. Prabhupada very nicely actually tell why Vamandev actually appeared, why he is to come into this world to take care of his devotee, to remind him that you are mine, and then you will kind of forget the way you are walking on the route. That's not what you're supposed to go. You should come back to the Krishna Bhakti and be Acharya for Atma Nivedan. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Amazing points, Pranaguranga. Absolutely. Everything belongs to the Lord, and we cannot claim proprietorship. It's so funny. As you were speaking, I was thinking, how some people they apply for something called sole proprietorship license to own a business. And the word sole proprietor is like, I'm the only owner, right? But actually everything belongs to the Lord. Absolutely. We just try to be the controller. Very nice point. And we tend to forget that. You're right. We tend to forget that, and how, and in fact, it's so nicely also how Srila Prabhupada explained why Bali Maharaj was a Mahajan, because he gave everything. He didn't own anything. So that was a very nice takeaway. Yes, thank you, Swarnaguranga. Amazing point. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share a takeaway? Any thoughts coming to your mind? Any points that you would like to share that we haven't been spoken, that you would like us to learn, because we all can learn from each other's realizations and really meditate on it. That's the whole idea of listening to Srila Prabhupada's lectures, how we can learn. Just like Swarnaguranga said, like he didn't think about this until this lecture by Srila Prabhupada. So there are many things that I'm sure we all never thought of until we heard Srila Prabhupada. He's always the answer to all our questions. So any other points? One point for me was how Srila Prabhupada says, I think I just passed it, where Srila Prabhupada said that we cannot understand transcendental subject matter by dry speculation and argument. We have to follow those and authorities. I think that was very, very powerful for me, because sometimes when we think that we know so much, we have the knowledge, we have studied, we have, memorized or whatever it is. But if we were to argue it, but not able to follow it, then what's the point? Then it becomes dry speculation. So I was really, really appreciating this point where Shapapa said the conclusion is that you have to follow those who are in authority. So that was definitely a strong point. How priceless transcendental subject matter is. It's not just learning and just arguing and with dry speculation. So that was one of my reminder for me, how it's so important to follow those in authority. Very, very important. Das, anudas. So that was my second takeaway. Would like to hear from others. If you have any other takeaways, we have a couple of more minutes. Any other takeaways that you would like to share, you can definitely unmute, or you can, put in the post and I will speak. I will read. Let me see, I'm going down the list so I don't forget. Yes, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. So one of the things also when Srila Prabhupada was talking said, we have to obey Guru. We have to obey Guru for life. He made that point because Bali had rejected his Guru, Shukracharya. But he said Shukracharya was rejected on spiritual grounds, spiritual reason. And not only that, Bali Maharaj made it known to Shukracharya that, but you have taught me to worship, to share everything, to give things to Krishna, to Vishnu. And now you're saying Vishnu has come and he's going to take things away. Don't give it to him. So you're going against your own word. Yeah, getting duplicitous. Speaking about out both sides of his mouth. And that's why Bali rejected him. But a bona fide guru who is teaching the way, we should always obey for life. And that point Srila Prabhupada also made, so that we won't put ourselves in Bali's situation and say, oh, we can reject as we like. No. That's actually called a third-class disciple. Third-class disciple is who the guru says one thing and they come up with some other excuses not to do things when the guru is asking for certain things to do. They're not doing it. First-class disciple, since I mentioned third class, we'll talk about first and second quickly. First-class disciple always obeys the bona fide guru. And not only that, the first-class disciple also has worked with guru, served guru so much that there are some things that guru expects to get done. He doesn't even have to ask the disciple will do it anyway, because it's been done so long now, the disciple understands what to and what not to do in some cases. And those things that we're supposed to do, the first-class disciple doesn't even wait for the guru to tell him, he'll just do it anyway. Second-class disciple does not have that ability to foretell or do ahead of time what guru wants. But everything that guru asks, that second-class disciple will do it. There is no not doing. It takes all instruction. Third class, as we talked about, is the one that guru says something, they want to give an excuse, so and so because of this, I'll just hold off. And maybe the first class disciple will do it for you anyway, because they know your mind. So, all kinds of excuses. There is also a fourth class disciple. Fourth class disciple is one that gets initiated by the guru, goes about his ways. I came to get initiation. I've got my name now. I don't do anything for guru. Just do nothing. No service at all to guru, and that's bad. So for devotees, should be either the first class, if you get to serve guru around so long, or at least second class. Everything that you're told you should do. Everything that you're told you should do. And Krishna, I'll say the last thing. Krishna has given us the means to get things cleared up for us. He says, approach Guru and inquire submissively. So when some things you don't understand, the Guru asks you to do, you just go ask him, for explanation, for things to be directed in another way so you can understand it better. But the mood should be to do the service though. whatever has been asked to do. Yeah, that's second class. That's second class. You should at least be in second class. And those who don't have a guru, you should also be willing to serve at the temple. It's the same thing. To serve the temple, be very, very willing to serve the temple. If you come up with excuses why I can't do it, I can't, you're a third class disciple. Even if you're at the temple and you're giving excuses for not serving, it's the same thing. Because if your guru was there at the temple and you've been asked to do some service, your guru going to say, no, don't do the service? Of course not. It's going to say, yes, you should do the service. So the same thing. Those who don't come at all, they got initiation and they don't do anything for anyone, don't contribute anything, they are fourth class. They initiated, they're fourth class automatically. Those who come up with all kinds of excuses not to serve at the temple, third class. Every now and then, third class. Second class, every time you're asked, you do. Every time you're asked. Because even the senior devotee is also representing service to Krishna, representing, giving instructions on what to do, because they don't want it for themselves. They also just want the service to Krishna and the service in the temple to go on. So that's the levels that people are, especially for those who are initiated. They have to be very careful with that. If you're third class or fourth class, you're in trouble. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for addressing that. Yeah, we as disciples.
I read it. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, as disciples, we have a tall order. Actually, I was thinking about a very nice point that Chandramali Swami also addressed last week. No, 2 weeks ago, I believe. I don't know whether it's on our Bhagavatam class or whether it's his Bhagavatam class, because sometimes I attend his Bhagavatam classes at 7 o'clock. I think it was him that mentioned it, how important it is that for a disciple, when we get initiated, we represent our spiritual master. And, yes, it was Chandramali Swami's class 2 weeks ago, where he said that it's so important that as disciples, we follow, whatever we do, however we behave, our actions or everything, it represents our spiritual master, just like our our son or daughter, they represent how, they were raised or taught or whatever by the parents. So I was really meditating on that, how it's so important as disciples to really understand the deep meaning of what it means to be a disciple and how we represent our spiritual master in the right way, because that's our guru is our spiritual father. He's the one that's going to help us go back to Godhead. And it's only by the Guru's mercy, actually, that we can go back to Godhead. And of course, the mercy of the devotees. But as disciples, we have a big task to and for our spiritual master. So I was really reflecting on Chandramali Swami's words, because one devotee asked that same question. So thank you for addressing. And he also mentioned the 4 different classes of disciples in that class. And so it's definitely a reminder for me to hear it again. So thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that up. If there are no other points from devotee, just a humble reminder to please join us this evening to hear from Srila Prabhupada. We will be continuing to hear from Srila Prabhupada on Bhagavad Gita called Srila Prabhupada Says. We'll be continuing with Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 1, verse 44. We just finished 43 on Monday. So we'll be continuing with 44 tonight. So please do join us at 6 o'clock this evening. It's really, really nice to hear from Srila Prabhupada. It's so nice. So please do join us. Until then. Oh, and a quick reminder, tomorrow morning is Chandramali Swami's class at 7 o'clock. So whenever Maharaj gives class, most of the time it's 7 o'clock in the mornings. So please join us tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock with His Holiness Chandramali Swami. So tonight, 6 o'clock, tomorrow, 7 o'clock by Chandramali Swami. So please do join us. Until then, Vanshakapatibhyascha, Kripasindhabevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Have a wonderful day, devotees.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nitya Gopal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guru Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Rukmini.